Hello, this is Christy Schaefer, and welcome to the Attitude of Altitude. This month in October, we are focusing on the subject of fear. And I was looking at a list of the more common fears that people have. See if you can relate to any of these. Fear of spiders, fear of snakes, fear of heights, fear of dogs, fear of flying, fear of drowning, fear of needles, fear of public speaking. There's even fear of crowds, fear of germs. And how about this one? There's even a fear of not having your cell phone. I hope not too many of you have that one. But as I went through that list, I went, well, they missed one of the fears that I had growing up, and that was the fear of bees. I don't know why. I really only got stung once by a half-dead bee in a swimming pool. But it was something about these buzzing, flying, stinging little creatures that just gave me the willies. And when I was a teenager in California, I worked at a summer day camp. And we took the kids one day to the beach. And while we were there, there was this big, fat bumblebee. Well, not that big, but in my mind, it was huge. And it came over to say hello. Well, of course, in my fear, I stood up, I screamed, and I started running down the beach. Could you just see this? All of the children's eyes were quite wide, wondering what happened to Miss Christy. And I was looking for some place to hide because this bee continued to follow me, and I could hear it, and it was just like right behind me. And so I said, bathroom. I'm going to hide in the bathroom. But as I went in there, there were openings like windows and everything, and this bee came in as well. And so I said, well, I can't be trapped in there. So I went back, I ran back down the beach, and I just gave up. I laid down on a towel next to the people I was with. And of course, by that time, all of the children were gathering around, wondering what was wrong with me. And as they were trying to calm me down, I was not paying attention to the fact that this bee came and landed on me. And I don't know. Could I not feel it? I don't know, but I was not aware. And when it saw that I wasn't doing anything anymore, then it got up and it flew away. Well, later, I went to learn a little bit more about bumblebees. I went to my encyclopedia. And for those of you who are of the younger generation, that was our version of the internet. And so I went there to study about bumblebees. And one of the things I learned is that when you scream and you run, they think it's a game and they want to play. And so that was just fascinating to me. So since then, I have learned not to play the game with bumblebees. But I've also learned to appreciate this little creature that God created as it's sitting on the flowers and it's pollinating and it's doing its job, and learn to appreciate the beauty in this little creature and not live with fear. I keep my distance. I try not to move too fast around them, but I don't live with this fear of them anymore. You know, we are made as people to have feelings and to have logic. And sometimes our feelings get the best of us. And when you throw imagination in there, it just feeds our fears. Can you relate to that with some of the fears that you have, that your imagination just makes them bigger and bigger? And so sometimes it's balancing that out with gaining some knowledge on what it is that you're afraid of, and letting that knowledge kind of balance out that fear a little bit. And so I encourage you this week that as you're facing some of your fears, learn as much as you can about them, about the situation, and see if that doesn't help to calm your fears just a bit. I hope that encourages you this week and helps you to have an attitude of altitude. Thanks so much. I'll see you next week.